Okay, well, apparently I'm live.
Nice.
And I'm stuck on the selfie camera. I don't see a way to change that. So, oh, there we go. Maybe right there. Nope. Okay. Well, when I guess I'm gonna have to just turn the phone around. Strange. You'd think YouTube would be smart enough to be able to use both cameras. So, theoretically, if you go to Springer Ranch on YouTube,
Okay.
then you would be able to see. Just turn your volume down, I guess. And then I can
On YouTube.
see if you can like copy a link and send it to Mike and Corey. It says I have no
followers.
Nobody watching at the moment.
I'm on Emily Whitlock.
No, just go to YouTube.
Yes, I'm in YouTube.
So close that. You're not changing accounts. Just go to YouTube.
Okay, it's going to be the Emily Whitlock account.
No, that doesn't matter.
Just saying.
Search for Springer Ranch.
Oh.
I don't want you to log in as Springer Ranch. I want you to search for Springer Ranch. Because that way, see if it says I'm... Oh, okay, click on that. And then... Okay, I don't know how to share a link then. Sorry, guys, I don't know how to share a link to do this. It's first time.
Wait, 6/12? That's today.
Walking the property, 6/12. Yep.
All right, you want me to grab that? I see it's working. I see you.
Okay. It's kind of working. You're frozen.
I see you.
So, copy the web address. Okay. Sorry. Oh, it's been a long day. We're running out of daylight. So we're getting ready to walk over there. And apparently, with my one viewer...
Let's turn it around.
Yeah. I only technically want 3 viewers. So if this works, though, then I might do this at the end of every day. And then hopefully I can figure out how to make it so that I can use the back camera instead of the selfie camera next time. But we'll see if this even is worth even doing. The hope was just to have this save the time and hassle of uploading videos after I record them with the phone. So anyway, I'm going to
you'll be able to see on my phone if it's working.
Well,
in a minute.
See if you can like.
Oh, it says it's entering full screen mode.
See if you can. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. All right. So Emily is monitoring the chat for us in case Mike and Corey get online. So what we came through our little camping area. This will be a little bit of a walkway, but the main driveway is going to come from over there and it'll come down through here. And basically go somewhere right about there. that is the plan. I don't particularly want to walk through a whole bunch of blackberry bramble at the moment. Excuse me. So we're going to go this way. And we'll start with this hole because why not? So this is what our test today consisted of. I dug a hole. They took samples, so I dig about 2 feet down. They take a sample, do a test to see how well it compacts. And then dig 2 feet down, they do it again. Dig 2 feet down, they do it again. The cool thing, okay, this is really awkward, and I don't know if this is even going to show on this particular camera, but right down here, if you can see, there's dark brown, like burnt umber, dark brown, and then there's like kind of a burnt sienna, lighter brownish, more brown that runs from this line, like a really clear line of delineation right there between the two colors. And maybe what I need to do is show you over here. So it's the difference between this, which is topsoil, and apparently Charlie is very excited, and this, which is clay soil. So about 12 inches down is the clay type soil, which is great for our duck pond, because now I know lots of places where I can come and dig and get some really nice clay to build out the duck pond, so we don't have to build it out with cement.
2 feet down is all the duck pond size.
Anyway, so the compaction test measures the number of strikes that it takes to pound a 1-inch metal stake into the ground 1 inch deep for the first part, and then another inch deep for the second part. And the second part is the one that is really important. That particular site that we just left tested out at 20, I think it was 21 strikes for the first inch and 26 strikes for the second inch, which is amazing. So basically it's really hard clay, meaning yeah, it's really hard clay. So that site can support the weight of pretty much whatever structure I want to put on it. So then we drove up here to the barn site, and I came over to this area because I didn't want to have to fight the roots from the ash trees. I don't want to kill them yet. So we came over here, and I still, as you can see, still fought some of them. And hopefully you can see this okay. So you can see that I dug a whole lot, and then they dug this little hole right there. That's where they took their sample. And then you can't really see, I guess it collapsed probably, but then they put the stake in the center of that hole, and they have a thing that they pound it down, and it's like a measured weight. So there's a pole, and there's a ring at the one point, and then the weight slides up and down, and then there's a ring at the top. So it can only go so far up or down. So you lift the weight up to the top, let go, it collides at the bottom, pushes the stake down, and then they count how many times they have to do that to move that stake 1 inch and a second inch. This particular site was like 15 for the first and 16 for the second, which isn't great, but is far from bad. When we tested our site over on the other side, they dug down 2 feet, and their first test was like 4 strikes. So it like just soft, super soft topsoil. But yeah, so this test, this hole, is basically the exact same thing that the county health inspector wants to see to test the soil for a septic system. The great news about this is, again, this can pretty much support whatever building we want to put here. The downside is that this clay means that we only have, like on this particular site, we've got like 18 or so inches of topsoil. That's the only usable soil for a septic system. So we'd have to build a mound system on top of this so that it could distribute and soak and do what it needs to do. The goal is now to drive or to build a road partway up the hill this way and to do a couple of those test holes and see if I can find a spot where I have more sandy, gravelly, topsoil type soil, stuff like this versus stuff like this. This is great for building. This is great for septic. Well, this isn't actually great for septic, but this would work with septic. So you can see the other site through here. I don't know that did we ever actually walk over there. I never got that video to post.
You didn't get that video to post
Oh well.
because it was too long.
Okay, we'll go up there over there then and show you. But the test results for the carport. So this was the barn. The carport site is over there, and these can be rearranged however we want them to be rearranged. But I came all the way up here to the top of, like, to where the back of the house would potentially be. And we dug this hole here. And again, basically the same thing. You can see their test hole for their sample. You can see this one actually had more decent soil, but not enough, I think. Not enough to make it worth having them come out and pay them to test it. You can, there's of clay sticking off the wall, because it actually walls of the clay, which was kind of weird. But yeah, so there's our road. That's where I got to with building the road. Come down here instead of there. It'll come down at a much nicer angle here. And you can see that some of these trees, I don't know. So the idea, so the road would come brush here, and then that's what it's called. It'd have a switchback that has to be big enough that a fire truck can use it technically, although this one doesn't actually, as long as I build a truck, we just have to let them know, hey, this one isn't wide enough for a fire truck. But it would then come down somewhere through here and meet back up with the carport. Unless we rearrange. For instance, you could totally put like the carport up there, have that be your main drive, have a little walkway down to the house next to the barn. If you wanted to, you'd have the house over there. I mean, what this soil test is basically going to come back as is that we can build pretty much wherever we want out here. Because again, same type of test. You've got about 10 or so inches of topsoil, and then you hit clay, and then you hit another type of clay. And this one was weird. It actually had a third type of clay. So it had this almost sandy clay at the bottom of it, which was kind of strange, but it didn't affect anything. It tested similarly to the one over there. So that,
solid enough we can build things out of it.
Oh yeah, and some of it, like, there's actually chunks in here. If I wanted to dig through and find them, there are chunks in here that are high enough clay concentration that they could be modeling clay. Like you can actually rub it around and like pottery clay, modeling clay. I mean, it's actual, clay. So that's good. But that's what I did today. And then I drove down to Portland and returned a broken grading, 3-point grading blade. So I'm not sure how much more clearing I'm going to do out here until we come out here with you guys and kind of walk it and see. I mean, if you decide you want the carport and the house both up higher, then we can work that out probably. And I don't know, we're pretty flexible at this point.
The modular home company might say something about ease of access.
I just have to build it. That's not a problem. Like if we do it at the top of the hill, I already have access. I just have to level the area that the house actually goes, so they can come in and build the foundation. So, looks like nobody ever joined. I still only have one viewer, so that's okay. I will post the link now. But my hope was that by doing it this way, I don't have to take the time to wait for it to upload, because sometimes the internet decides it wants to pause for a minute and then the upload freezes and I have to start all over. That's what I'm experiencing with we actually walked around this yesterday in lots of detail and talked and showed off lots of stuff and talked about the trees and the fruits and the blah blah blah, and it ended up being a half an hour.
Oh, I was getting in your shot, that's all.
Yeah, it ended up being a half an hour. So YouTube is not liking me uploading that particular video. So yeah, anyway, like I said, I think if this works and posts okay and views okay, then I will try using this in the future for like when I get done with a stretch of road, or whether if I have a different project or whatever, I will probably just start doing this at the end of the day. We'll see. So peace out. Mike and Corey, love you guys, and we're super excited to make this happen. There's a few hurdles I'm investigating. Apparently there's some issues with sale price because it's family involved. There's gift laws and things that might create issues, but we'll figure out a way to work around that if that's the case. We'll make it happen one way or the other. So yeah, we're super excited and super looking forward to just hanging out with you guys out here and letting you get an actual feel for what this area actually is like. Maybe we'll build a little campfire ring out here in the middle of the forest. Actually, that's a really good idea. We could do it like right there. We'll build a little campfire and roast some marshmallows, make some s'mores out here. But yeah, like I said, I think I'm going to leave this and not do too much more clearing. I'll work on building the road, but not bring it down until we, again, figure out where we actually want things. And then we'll go from there. So for everybody else who ends up watching this, hope you enjoyed seeing the results of the geotech survey. This is what was required because we have a hill. It'll come back to they'll evaluate it and determine where we can build and how big a structure and whatever. Basically, the tests here were better than the tests we did on our home site. Since this is the second plot. The first plot, they did the tests and they came back not horrible, but like I said earlier, the first test came back with like 4 strikes for compaction, so that was a little worrisome. But once they got down, a little deeper, it wasn't a problem. So there won't be a problem here for sure. And in fact, there is one more site way out there by the highway where I want to build a barn that will be my milling barn. That's where I'll store all my lumber and have a big banner for the milling business, so I can hopefully make money and pay for the mill that way. We dug 6 feet down and actually hit rock. And usually when I hit a rock here, I can kind of use the teeth of the bucket and wiggle it around and get it loose and pull it up. And then there's some big rocks I still can pull up that just take more work and maybe a little bit of excavation around it. But I could not get the rock to move. So it's either a big enough rock that it is 4 or 5 feet long and however wide, or it was actual bedrock type thing. So what they did is they tried to drill their sample, and they documented that they could not get a 6-foot sample. And then they tried to do their compaction test, and it was sorry, I can't laugh. It was really funny because I was watching them strike, and the stake was not moving at all. It was just like bouncing up and down. And after, I don't know, I lost count. So it was like 30 or 40 strikes. They both just said, okay, denied. And I was like, okay, what does that mean? They said, oh, that's fantastic news. That's actually what you want. Because that means that this particular area has solid rock that you can build on. So you can build whatever building size you want. So anyway, I gotta get like a selfie stick or something so you can actually see more in the background than just me if I'm gonna keep doing this. Because yeah, this seriously is gorgeous. I'm so disheartened by the emerald ash borer. Like, it just, nothing they've done has been able to deter it. The only thing that they've been able to successfully use to deter it is a pesticide that you inject into the bark of the tree, so that when they try and lay their eggs, the eggs hatch and climb into the tree and die. And you have to do that every 2 years. I mean, look at that. Like, right there, that's like $40,000 worth of treatment every other year. Sorry, I wish I had that kind of money. I totally would. If I was like a billionaire, I totally would just be like, hey, I like this forest. Sure, go out and treat every other tree. And then when the rest of them, as a thinning practice, when the ones that aren't treated die off, go back through and treat every tree from now on. Unfortunately, I don't know that I will ever have that kind of money, because my retirement idea is what you see here. My goal is to have enough of a retirement that we can live off of our investment, owning our land, and just paying utilities and taxes until we die, and then be buried here. Which I haven't decided where. Somewhere there's going to be a cemetery. Emily's not entirely convinced about that, but somewhere there's going to be a family cemetery. Maybe we'll put that at the top of the hill.
You mean right next to the Doss Cemetery that exists already?
Well, no, the Doss Cemetery is way over there.
Oh.
We'll put it way up there on the top of the hill. Build a...
Since you can't do anything else up there.
Yeah. Have little 10-plot family cemetery, fence it off. The only downside is if we actually do that, then I have to go actually maintain it. So I would have a spot on the property that I actually have to go mow and have to treat weeds. But it'd be worth it to not have to pay somebody else for burial. That's just me. Too bad this can't be edited. Because it's live. Randomness. So, okay, I'm ending this now. Peace out. End stream. Your stream will stop immediately and you will no longer be live. Okay, end.